Hi guys, welcome to Damsey Fashion YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to make this beautiful princess bustier that is sitting pretty like this. If this is what you want, kindly watch to the end. So to start our princess bustier, we have shoulder to waistline, shoulder to underbust, shoulder to bust points, and right here we have our chest line. So the first thing we do is to mark the shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. So we also mark 7.5 here. Then we connect. So I'll use my pencil to connect. So from here we come up by 3 inches, coming by half, or you come in by 0.75. So for the shoulders low, 1 inch. Then the neck width, we are using 4. So what we just do is to what? Connect. Then connect. So to get our armhole curve, we divide the bust circumference by 4. For it 2 divided by 4, we have 10.5. Right? 10.5. So after marking here, what we do is to connect. So after connecting this, the next thing we are going to do is to divide our nipple to nipple by 2. Nipple to nipple is 8, divided by 2, 4. Then we also mark 4. Then to this bust point, we have 4. So before we proceed, I would just like to finish the neckline. So I'm going to use the depth of 4 inches. You can also use the depth of 5. Then we connect. Then we are going to connect it this way. So if you want to use a deeper neck, you can use a deeper neck. Now to connect our princess bustier, what we need to do is from here to here, we can decide to divide it by 2 to connect. But what I do most times is from the shoulder, I will mark the yoke line. I will just use like 6 inches from here. Is what I mostly use to connect the princess bustier. 6 inches, or use 5.5. So after this, you just give it a shape this way. If you decide to take your curve ruler, is going to give you a little bit curvy effect here, so you can just blend it out. Do you understand? So this is what we work with now. Then we proceed to our underbust contouring. Because we are working the bust of 42, I'm going to come in here by 1 inch to do the underbust tightening. Then I'll come in here by 1.5. I'll repeat the same thing here. If you are working with a smaller breast, you are going to come in here by 0.75, come in here by 1.25. You are working with a bigger bust size, maybe the bust of like 45, not like 48, and they're like under bust is like 16. You can come in here like 2 inches, come in here by 1.25, which is the highest you can use here. I hope you understand that. Then we are going to connect this way. Then we take the ruler and connect back to the bust point. Mind you, when you are connecting from this bust point, you should have about 1 inch down to connect. So your connection should not be directly on this line. So this is what I mean by it. Like the line should still be straight here before it comes out. Not like you now come inward this way. You have reduced your bust if you do it that way. Then we connect this second side. After doing this, the armhole, we are going to come down by 1 inch. Can you see that? After coming down by 1 inch, we are going to connect it to this point with like a kind of sharp curve. You can see the way I put the curve, not here, somewhere here. So this place is still a little bit straight before you curve it. Then after doing this armhole, because by the time you measure round and you start sewing, it might give you shortage while you are sewing. So what we do is to extend this place, then we come out by either 1 inch or 0.75. So I want to come out by 0.75 here. So most times you come out by 1 inch. You can just come out by 0.75. Then you make sure it is as curved as possible, like to the slightest point of your curve, so that it will meet this line like this. If you place your curve this way too, it will still meet your points. So this is what we have. And after doing this, remember we used to return back our dart. So on this straight line, which is this chest line, straight line, what we have here, we have the shortage of 1.1. So I will add 1.1 back. Then on the waistline, you divide the waist by 4. 39 divided by 4, she have 9.5. 9.5. Then our dart intake of 2.5 inches, which is 2.5, we mark it back. Then you come this way, you can add the ease of 0.25 here. Then you connect. So right here we have our princess bustier. Then remember, the back half length, the front half length is 17 inches. So the back half length is shorter than the front half length, which is 15.5, which is 1.5 inch away. So that means 17 inches for the front half length minus 15.5 inches for the back half length, which we have 1.5. So now we are going to use 1.5 for our bust dart, which is also side dart. So we mark from here 1.5, which is the bust point. Then we connect paper tape. So after connecting this, we are going to open one side to close this side. But before we do that, let us draft our back pattern so that we can see how all the pattern looks like before we start cutting to turn in the dart. So this is the back pattern, and we are using zip for this. So we have a straight line here. So we are going to be using 1.5 for the zip allowance. 1.5 for the zip allowance. So we have some people, they are already used to the trendy rope effect that they can't work on zip again. Then after marking this, our half length now is 15.5. You can see it. You can see where the front length is stopping. So from here, we now be our measurement, because this is the starting line. This is zip. Do you understand? Then from here, we are going to mark shoulder, which is the shoulder measurement of 7.5. That's 7.5. Then from here, 8 inches for the chest line, which is bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5, and it's very depending on the armhole. Then we also mark here and we connect. So we extend this. So what we have in the front for the neck width is 4. We mark same 4 here. Then shoulder slope of 1 inch. So we determine the depth of the back length, neck, depending on what we want. I'm going to be using 6 inches. And I'm going to be using a curve. That's round for it. Then this is what we have. So this is it. And for the armhole curve, the same way we did the front, bust circumference divided by 4, 42 divided by 4, 10 and a half, 10.5. Then we add 0.25 is. You can see just something small. Then we come up by 3 inches and come in by half. Don't come in by 0.75. Come in by half. Then you rule and you connect your armhole. So after doing this, we already have our bust measurements. Now this is where another calculation begins. So let me extend this line. Now nipple to nipple is 4, right? We mark 4. Then the bust, the chest line, the bust point 10 and a half. This is it here, which is where the dart will reach for the back. So this is what we are now going to do. Because the back is not straight, we come in here by 0.75. So I'm going to be using another marker so that we can understand where. Come in here by 0.75 to make the back to relax. Then we connect it to this point. This will be the new back line. Then the 1.5 for the zip, we mark it back. Then we connect it back to the up. It will give you a flat back. So this is now the zip allowance, this black line, not the blue line. So now the nipple to nipple divided by 2, we will now start our measurement from here instead of here. That means this is the line, right? Which will be the dart. Then we give it a straight rule to this point of the bust point. So you can actually rule out the bust point. Then from here, we come out by ½ inch on both sides. Then we connect. So this is how the back dart will now look like. So the waist measurement is divided by 4. 39 divided by 4. 9 and a half, 9.5. So this is where we are starting our measurement. 9 and a half. 9 and a half. Then remember our dart intake. We have to return it. So 1 inch that we have here, we just add it back here. Then we connect it back to the bust point. Then we have side back, center back. So this is how the pattern looks like, and this is the front pattern. So you can see the length of the back is shorter than the length of the front. So that is when you are now going to close the side dart for the front. We will now close the side dart for the front. So let me quickly do this explanation before we close the dart. Now, if you want to work with yoke and princess bustier, what you do is, now you know we already have the 6 inches for the yoke line. So what you just do is to come up by 1 inch from your bust point, or if you want your cleavage to show, you can go with this line. Then you just connect. Do you understand? So just connect this way and you will cut it out. So by the time you join the downside, you add your yoke to it. And so we cut through here and we shape this out. We stop here, then we slash this downside to this point, then we raise it up to this point. So we have closed the dart this way. Then we are going to just blend this back. So that's how that side will look like. Then for this point, we need to do the curving very well because of the way we raise the dart. So what we just do is to blend here. So we just blend everything and we cut. So this point now be the side front, SF, center front. Then we cut out the back. Then note the new zip allowance to cut. So wash this carefully so that you're not going to cut where you're not supposed to cut. Just make sure you follow all the process, and after cutting, this is how everything is going to turn out. Make sure you don't cut the wrong line. So we'll be showing you the sewing process in our next video. Kindly like, comment and share if you have benefited from this video, and turn on your notification button to get notified when you post a new video. Bye.